Hi again. All right, let's go ahead and solve using trig. And like these ones, they don't tell us if we're going to have to use inverse or regular. So we need to look at the problem and just kind of figure out, okay, which one are we using? So if we look at this first guy, it looks like we need x, which is side. So do we need inverse? No, because inverse trig is used for angles. Okay, so we don't need to do sine, or I'm sorry, inverse trigonometry on this guy. We have the 51-degree angle, so let's go ahead and label everything AH's and O's as always. Okay, so what trig ratio has an A and an O in it? That would be tangent. So we need to have tangent of our degree, which is 51, equals, and then remember it's TOA, tripping on asphalt. So our O is length 8, and our A is the unknown value x, which we're solving for. Okay, if we go ahead and make this into a fraction equals a fraction, we can cross multiply. We're going to get x times tan 51 equals 8 times 1, so just 8. I want x by itself. Remember, tan 51 is just a really scary looking way of writing a decimal, so we're just going to divide by tan 51. Tan 51. So we get x equals 8 divided by tan 51. So we get, let's see, where are we at? 6.47827, blah, 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 blah. Round to the nearest tenth. We look at this guy. That's bigger than 5, so we're going to round that guy to 5. So we get x is 6.5. Are we talking about degrees? Or are we talking about a length? We're talking about a length, so don't label it with a degree, okay? All right, let's try another one. Go ahead and write that guy down. So it looks like we need the angle. So right here, it's an angle. What do we need to use? Inverse. Okay, so let's figure out which inverse we need. So let's go ahead and label AH's and O's. So here's our angle. It looks like this one's opposite of the hypotenuse. There's your hypotenuse. And then this is the adjacent. So this would be, so this would be the ka we need. So we're going to do cosine of our angle equals A over H. Okay, we need to find we need to find x, so we need to get rid of this cosine. Remember, we can't divide by cos, so what we really do is just multiply by cos inverse. Multiply by cos inverse. So we get cos inverse times cos goes away. We have just x. And then we're going to say cosine inverse of 14/22. Cosine second cosine over, what was it? 14/22. 14 divided by 22. Okay, and we get 50.4788, blah, 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 blah. We still want rounded to the nearest tenth. So we're going to look at our second number, which is a 7 again. So this is going to go up to 5. So we get 50.5. We're talking about an angle here, so we should have that degree symbol. Okay, look at that one. That one looks like fun. Move us a little bit here. Okay, so for this guy, okay, we need to find DE. So let's go ahead and say DE. So we got to get this guy. I see 2 right triangles in there, which is always a good indication that we can use some Pythagorean theorem. Yes, we could use, but we definitely don't have enough information for that since we only have one side. But since we're given angles, we can use some trig, okay? So if we go ahead and pull out what we have, so we have this top triangle here. We got 61 degrees, 24 degrees. That's all we know, right? And then let's pull this bottom one out. We have x, and we have this guy is 19 degrees, and that is all we know, okay? So the side that the triangles share is this one. So if we find this side length, we're going to be able to find another side length for the other triangle too, which means we would have an angle and a known side, so then we could find the unknown x, okay? So we need to know two things at minimum per triangle in order to solve these guys. All right, so it looks like we have to start with this guy and find something we don't need to know to figure out what we really need to know. Label this guy with OH's and A's, so this would be an O, this would be an A, so that would be a tangent ratio. So tangent of 61 degrees equals opposite over adjacent, which is 24. Make this into a fraction equals a fraction and cross multiply if we'd like. So we get 24 tan 61 equals 0. Equals 0. Where did I get that? Equals y. Just making sure you guys are paying attention, I guess, huh? All right, 24 tangent 61. And we get 43.29714. Okay, so this one, read the directions on the problem. It will tell you to round to whatever, but let's go ahead and just stick with what we have been doing, which has been tenths. So we're going to look at this guy, that's 9, so we're going to get 43.3. Are we talking about length or an angle? We're talking about a length, so we don't need a degree symbol on that guy. All right, so we know that y is 43.3 now, okay? So now we can take this triangle here and figure out the x finally. So 19 degrees, this would be our adjacent side. This would be our opposite side again, so we're going to do tan. So we get tan of 19 degrees equals opposite over adjacent. Cross multiply, so we get 43.3 tan 19 degrees equals x. 43.3 degrees tan 19, and we get 14.909 blah 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 blah, round to the nearest tenth. So here is our x value. All of that for 14.9.